I have the pleasure next of introducing Kevin Moss, who's the Head of Corporate Social Responsibility, I love the title, for British Telecom America. And he's responsible for the environmental issues, the climate issues, and sort of corporate ethics and standards, community involvement, and so on. So with that, let me introduce Kevin.
A few words about BT, British Telecom. We have about 100,000, 105,000 people. About 80,000 of them are in the UK. About the remainder are outside the UK, about 4,000 in North America. That gives you a feel for the size of the company. In the UK, you might think of us as like, I don't like saying we're like AT&T and Verizon, but they're sort of the equivalent. We're the incumbent. We've had competition for 20, 25 years now, but we're still the pervasive brand name that most people know of, and whatever step we take is on the front page of the papers the next day. So we come from both that sort of UK, very well-known brand image in the UK. Over here, we sell IT and communication services to global multinational companies. And as 75% of them are headquartered in the US, if you want to do business with them, you've got to have a presence here. So that's why we're here. What I hope I'm going to be able to do today is give you, in my few minutes, is give you a little bit of a feel for how a company that's consuming energy is responding to some of the things in this paper. Ben Verwaayen, our current CEO, was chairman of the task force. And if you take a quick look at pages 3 and 4 of the document, you'll see a few things in there where business makes a commitment on its priorities. I'm just going to read a couple. Incorporate climate change policies into its DNA. Redouble efforts to improve energy efficiency in transport and buildings. Deliver existing corporate commitments. So I'm just going to tell you a few of the things we're doing that I hope will bring to life the experience of one company against some of those commitments, and what do those actually look like in a particular corporation. And I hope this also reflects many of the other corporations that were part of the task force. What I'd like you to do is think about the actions we take in terms of 4 areas. Our direct carbon footprint, that is the energy we consume that generates carbon emissions. The products we sell and their in-life carbon footprints, that is, we've now sold a product to a customer, they plug it in, it's their energy usage, their energy bill, their carbon footprint, but we've had a big impact on that carbon footprint by the way we've designed that product. Thirdly, what I'd call the enabled carbon emissions, either avoidance or increase. The impact our products and services can have to enable a customer to improve or to reduce or increase carbon emissions in another part of their activities. And fourthly, the opportunity that we have to inform and to influence policy through our customers, through our employees, and through government. So first of all, our direct carbon footprint. Our direct carbon footprint we started measuring in around 92. We baselined in 96 when we felt confident enough that it was a stable figure and we understood it. And since 96 until today, we've reduced our carbon footprint from 1.6 million tonnes to 0.6 million tonnes, which is a 60% increase. We have a commitment that by 2016 we'll reduce it by 80% on the 96 to 0.3 million tonnes, which sounds like only another 20%, and we've already done 60, so that can't really be that hard. But actually it's another 50% on where we are today, and we've done the low-hanging fruit, or most of it. So we now have some challenges ahead of us as to how we are going to meet that extra 50% on where we are today and get to that 80%. We've got where we've got so far, and we will continue in 3 different ways. One is changing our business processes to business processes that require less energy in the first place. The second, I'll call that process business process re-engineering. The second is energy efficiency, using energy efficient devices, coming up with more energy efficient ways to do things. And the third is buying renewables. So those are the 3 ways. In theory, you should do them in that chronological order. In practice, I think it's fair to say we're doing them in parallel. We buy currently 0.7% of all of the electricity produced in the UK, which makes us one of the biggest, if not the biggest consumer. We buy 7% of all the renewable electricity produced, which puts us in an uncomfortable position in the market, because we are now, by our own purchasing, a very major buyer and influencing the price as well. We're having to come up with some creative ways going forward. One of the things we are doing is we've made a commitment that by 2020, 25% of the energy we consume will be produced by wind turbines on our own sites. And we're making our own sites available. We're trying to push through the zoning permission to do that, because that's one of the biggest barriers for wind energy. And we're looking at investors to actually put the capital up to build them, but we'll make the commitment to buy the electricity from those wind turbines. So that's one of the ways we're trying to get from the 60% we're at now to the 80% we need to get to by 2016.